Hello guys, so let's start new prediction for next week. Um, Last prediction was that we're gonna see about 2 weeks of sideways move, and this is what we got. You can see a clearly sideways move. Basically did nothing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday. Stay in its range between the 415 and the 410 and didn't move from there. With this market, we look to find a unique stock that do move uh, in a big volatility and can trade them instead of taking the ETFs and some other stocks. So let's try to predict the next move. So we can see basically that we are in the middle of no zone. There is no break to the upside or downside. The 200 on the daily is positive, but in some sort of straight line. Volume is not that significant. If we go to the weekly, we can see that the low is 403.78, so they try to push and preserve the low some sort of higher. Some people can look at it as a bull flag. This is the big candle and then preserving the highs and then waiting for the break above the 418. This is the key level. If we look at it on the monthly, again we can see, but other people can see that we're starting to have a failure. So we can do something like this, and then from there go from the low for the 334. So at the moment, even in the monthly, we can see a continuation to the upside. And if we are taking the Fibonacci level from here to there, we can see that the 430 is the 60 and the 50 is now here, the same level. So very strong resistance. Let's go for the one. And this is the 4-hour chart. This is a trend I draw here. We can see the attempt to break, immediately push back inside, and now again managing to break, trying to push inside and fail. And this is not that good. It gives indication that it wants to fall. Momentum is down here, trying to be positive. And I think next week is, even though the option, I didn't check it this week, but I think probably it still will be at about 410, 48. The price will try to end there. I think we could see a move to the downside, retesting the 45, 46, and then ending in the 410. And then on June, we're going to see the failure to the downside. It is a possibility. We see the stochastic moving slowly to the downside, but the price isn't, which is good. It means that the price managing to hold, creating a divergence. So this is a divergence to the upside, which is good. Do we see it elsewhere? So you can see the opposite, the price moving downside, and then stochastic is moving upside. So this is a divergence. The stochastic is losing all its power. This is the final push, creating a big divergence and then continuation to the downside. So here what we got, stochastic price moving sideways or to the upside, and then it can create the divergence. Something, let's do a mirror. can make a push and then try to see what happened there, if it created divergence to the upside or no. If it will need to create divergence if it will manage to fall below this and the price will hold this zone. This will be a good key enter to enter long. So we have two possibilities at the moment because this is a big sideways move with nothing. At the moment it seems much weaker. Let me check something. It seems that it want to push higher. It gives indication that it want to push higher, and now it's try to fake and take out all the take in all the short sellers and then take them out about the 415 at the stop losses to push higher. And it could do so. So for next week, trying to fake out, probably will try to end about the 410. If we check the 1 hour chart, you can see there's nothing there. Big sideways move. This is the box. You don't want to trade in it. This is a box. You can see the price section. Do we have a divergence? Check. This is a small one, so 4887, 49. So there is a divergence, but be very careful. Don't try to attempt to predict it too soon. Let it break, even let it come back to you and retest, and try to follow with follow the trend with the volume. You can see at the end of the session volume coming in, which is good. They're trying to end big candle, so this is a good indication, but wait for it. I would wait for it on Monday. Lately I don't trade on Mondays. They give me indication what will happen. You can see this is Friday. You can see this is Monday. Don't trade on Monday. Wait for indication what to do, and then it's open with a gap up. So this is Monday, then open with a gap down. Resting on the 200, open with a gap up, moving down. This is the same sideways move we have each day. Down and up, down and up, down and up. Nothing to do. So let's move to the Qs and see what it tells us. If it gives us better indication. The Qs is much stronger, but this fall to the downside was too, I don't know, big. I wanted to end it here to hold it. So now in order to push higher, it needs to break the 325. So I wanted to break this again, close above to move to the upside. There is a divergence to the upside. You can see it hit higher lows. This is lower lows. So this is good. This is unique. The end zone is the 328. So this is the end zone, and it's grinding slowly, bringing more buyers, positive momentum and stochastic, which is good. So probably it will push the SPYs a little bit higher and try to keep it in a positive, the 410 positive. So this is the Q. Let's see something here. No. Let's move to Tesla. Tesla hit the 200, which was nice, and rejected from it. So probably trying, you can see the trend is trying to change. It detected 200, which is good. So we need to wait for another attack. The momentum is being positive. There is starting to be a divergence to the upside. I don't like the volume to the downside here. This is a big push. This is a big rejection. But I'm starting to be a little bit positive about it. Maybe it's trying. I think it didn't close the gap here. So maybe trying to attack the 180, close the gap, and this would be a nice reversal if we are, let's take here. Yeah, you can see the 50 is the 180, even the 186 to close another gap there. And then just looking at the Fibonacci level, you can go, let's say, something like this, or even where it was here, something like this. So at the moment I will, even though the trend is down and you don't take a long on a downtrend, I'm a little bit positive about it. Tesla, you can see it breaking the 200 here. This was resting on it, resting. This is the break, and you can see the big volume coming, rejecting it, and didn't manage to break there yet. So at the moment, I could see it moving to the downside, bringing the buyers and then pushing up again to take the 180. This is what I'm seeing at the moment. Can it continue flash to the downside? There is a lot of support at the 166, at the 161, 62. So I don't see it flashing immediately to the downside. Yes, there is a gap here at the 161, which probably it wants to close. But let's see. So the moment moving to the downside to bring buyers and then moving to the upside to close the gap at the 180. Let's go for Apple. So Apple is strong, moving, saving the power at here. The stochastics moving down, cross the 50, but still the price action is strong. So any move will create divergence to bring more buyers to attack the 177 at the moment. Momentum is positive. I don't like this candle. The buyers came, still ended up red, but the buyer still strong. This is the big gap. Apple don't like gaps that much. There's no divergence there. So we're looking at much bigger time frame. So let's move to the daily. And you can see how it looks there. It's a little bit far away from the 167, 68. So can it do a push? The volume is getting lower, 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 lower. So we just need a, I don't know, news, some catalyst that push the stock down, but still in a big positive. It's too far away on the daily from the 200, guys. So be very careful. And I think this is the reason why we don't see continuation to break the August high, the 176. If we look at it on the weekly, you can see this is too extended. Where is 96, 90, there is 97 there, 96, 96. So it's very hard for it to create, and this is becoming like, you can call it V-shape. You can call it, this is shoulder, head, shoulder, moving to the upside. It broke it, the 160, and if you take it from there, it's managing to try to make an all-time high. In this market, it's going to be very hard, and it's going to push the market to the upside if it managed to do so. But at the moment, I think people are just waiting. You can see the volume is getting lower, 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 lower. And there is not many stocks to invest in. So I think most of the buying is coming for the big 5 to 10 stocks, Apple among them. If we look at it on the monthly, You can see the clearly V shape here. End zone 176, reject, relief, and then you can try to look for an entry point. So be patient with it. Still positive though. So that's it. Let's move to NVDA. NVDA, come on. Resting again. Break it. So next target 278, next target 270, next target 263. Momentum is still positive there, but we might see a break. But if we see a break below 272, wait for it, give some relief, and then continuation to the downside, because this is too extended stock. You can see it here. This is too extended, and I don't like it. So managing, this is the monthly. So I think a lot of entry order at the 262, the 275, 274 for the short side. If we look at it on the daily, you can see again, like Apple, this is big stock. There is gaps behind. So I think it's one to move to the downside. So guys, wait for it. It will come. Let's go for Meta. Meta again. This is the five stocks that everybody is putting the money on. Low volume, resting on low volume. So the buyers not coming yet. So probably gonna see a break and then take out all the stop losses. So this move is just grinding, taking stop losses, creating some feeling of FOMO or greed, taking it and then pushing to the upside. You can see here big volume. This is big volume here and nothing yet. Again, too far away. I think people will, I don't know. Here you can see the momentum is started to decline. Stochastic also crossed the 50. So this is, yeah, I think this will bring us, there is no divergence, so this will bring us to a area that we're gonna see a failure, and this could push the market to the downside a little bit. Resting here, break, trying to push to the upside, and I think this will be a failure. Let me check it. No, there is no divergence yet. This 230, yeah, there is no divergence, so wow, sideways move I will not participate in. 238, 239, below here, the 230 even, yeah, to go to the downside. MRNA, this is the 60, which is nice. You can see it here. It will grind. This was the break to the downside to take in all the short sellers, to take out all the stop losses, and you can see momentum is positive, and you see price is moving down, which is not that good. So it could push a little bit higher and then create continuation, which is not that good. So but there you can see a divergence to the upside. This is a big divergence to the upside. So this is the break to the downside, the fake break, and now this is accumulation and then moving to the upside, which is good. This is a short continuation. We can see it here, and it's holding. So at the moment, you're probably gonna see a little bit accumulation and then pushing to the upside. BA. Wow, I don't like it. You can see the spikes, you can see the tails from up and down. So I don't know, trying to taking out some stocks out, looking for where is the big volume. I don't know what to tell about this. You can see it is. This is a big sideways move. From the start of the year, 5 months, did nothing almost. Just this side. And when it's too that long, and it started to be negative, it's not that good for the stock. You can see it here. This is the 1 hour. Managed to break, fell, try to break, fell, it's always failing. So the volume coming on the break. So they taking in the buyers and then immediately flash them. So you can see this is a false break. One green candle, one red candle, one green candle, one red candle, this is one red candle, green, this is two green, boom. Not that good. Do we have a break? No, nothing yet. There is a divergence a little bit to the upside again. So let's hope so. Let's look at it on the daily. Yeah, probably try to attempt to take again the 2.8 to 7 and I don't know, break again. You can say that the stochastic here is trying to break, so probably above it to 3, moving $5 to the 2.8. Let's take the gold. Yeah, gold resting here, which is good. Next target is the 200 on this EDF. Probably push the gold higher. Again, resting in sideways move. Guys, this is a big sideways move. It's very hard to predict, but there is a divergence to the upside. So above the 188 to the 190 and try to take the 185. Be very careful with it because it could flash down. So wait for indication to tell you where the market is going to take it. If we look at it on the 1 hour, let's make it smaller. You can see this is a fake break to the upside, coming back in. Where is the volume? On the fake break, the volume, this is the break, this is the fake break coming back in. There's no much divergence, so let it rest a little bit and then try to move to the upside. At the moment doesn't look that good. Break it, break it, break it. I don't like it. This is a break. Probably try to attempt to reach to the 185 to see if it can hold it, if the buyers will come. SLV, silver, ETF. In SLV you can see what happened. Rest, 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 rest immediately. Even if it was positive, this is what I'm afraid of. Boom, a break with a gap down. You can see it in the gold. Moving sideways, sideways, sideways. And it seems that it wants to move down like the SLV. Again, it's becoming red and boom, a break and clear the divergence. So continuation to the downside. So now we're just looking for a target again to the 2160. This is a bear flag, you can see it. And people waiting for the break below the 22, I think. Any move to the upside will create a divergence. And finally, Oxy, the oil stock. This was a good indication, a good prediction. Breaking to the downside and then moving up. We saw the divergence there. So wait for it here. This is at the opening, entering at the close and enjoying the ride to the downside, taking about 3-4%, which is good. Momentum is below the 0, so it's negative, but now it's becoming a straight line. So we'll wait for relief and continuation to the 54, 53. It's very tricky. So you can push below this one, 56, take out some stop losses and then continue higher. But at the moment, momentum is down. So go with the momentum. This is the 1 hour chart. Prediction was that we're gonna see it resting on this trend from above. I think it was the daily, yeah. Moving to the downside, resting on the trend and then bouncing it, and this is what it did exactly. So now it's too negative here at the stochastic, but you can see the volume is big on the downside and small on, so this is taking profit. So this is a bounce, and we might see another attempt to bring to the 55. Let's look at it on the weekly and see how it goes. This is a break, so probably try to push to the 52, 51. This will move up, price moving down. But it's starting to be positive from the above. So positive from the above is bringing the buyers, giving them the chance to dollar cost average, I don't know, and then entering with a big volume. You don't see the volume here. You can see it's gray, giving them that depth to bring the volume. So they bought it here, now they probably will bought it here, and then the 200 is a positive. So let's sum it up and see. It's trying to be a hard prediction because we are in a big sideways move. In a big sideways move, you sell the high, you buy the low. So and you try to predict where is the high. At the moment, we have the highs at the 418. We know the option is standing for next week about the 410, 48 probably, the max pain. So you know any move to the upside will push it to the downside, any move to the downside will push it at the end of the week to the upside. There is no indication for any divergence, so just computer selling any place trying to make a fake break to the upside, make a fake break to the downside, and resuming to the middle of the range. So creating what it calls a big box, that this is a big no zone trade. You want to wait for the break and retest. You want to wait for the break and retest. The Qs is a little bit stronger. It seems that it want to push because the 5-6 stocks pushing it, Apple, NVDA, Meta, pushing to the upside, which is good. But you know what, let's check. Let's see if I never look at it, so it probably can take some time. So this is the Russell ETF, IWM. And you can see what it did from the after the break here. You know what, let's look at the Fibonacci level, probably at the 50. Let's look at it. A little bit lower, yeah. And yeah, you can see it resting on the 50. So this is the computer buying it. They don't want to fall because this is the 2K stocks that if they are falling, it's probably predict a weakness, big weakness in the market. So people won't care about Apple, Meta, NVIDIA if they are strong, but all the rest of the market is weak. And probably people waiting for the 152 here for the next Fibonacci level. And it's, you know what, let's take it where it is. Sometimes I use it. So you can see it, this is below, so it broke. So the trend from the Fibonacci level is starting to be negative there. So it's becoming to negative, which is not that good. And this indication is not that good for the market. You can see it also here on the 4-hour chart. This is on a negative side. We didn't see it on the SPYs or on the Qs. This is on the negative side. It's trying to break. It hit the resistance again from one, twice. So started to try to be positive. I don't know if he's going to call it a Wyckoff. I don't see it, a big Wyckoff pattern there. But I think a lot of people waiting for it to break below the slow 167, and doesn't look that good because you see it also breaking here. Didn't create a divergence, so it's need to clear it. This low 168, 60, 50, and then we know we have a continuation to the downside. It's going to be fighting here because the momentum is closed. You can see it's squeezed to the zero, so they are very close to each other. So you don't know what to do. It's not like here, this is a break moving to the upside. This is a squeeze, this is a straight, this is coming to the zero, this is at the zero. You don't have any indication what it's going to be. Just following the trend, and this is what I think people will do. Follow the trend. And this could push the market a little bit to the downside, give indication. So I think next week will be indication what's going to be on June. And this is what I will wait for. So sorry guys for not giving you precise indication. I still see in a sideways move. This is and with a sideways move, you don't have the trend, you don't have indication, you don't have any stuff to help you. Just follow the trend. This is the best advice I can give you. Be very careful this week because it's gonna be a manipulation week, and have a good week. So bye guys.